Hello, I'm back. So this is the second video I'm making today, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the polymer clay work that I did back in, I guess, 2022, 2023, before I got too fatigued from the cancer to be able to do a lot of the pasta machine work and the clay work. You have to really work the clay. It takes a lot of hand muscles to be able to shape it. You end up with really big things to start with, and then you have to reduce them down, and that takes a lot of work to do the canes, if anyone is familiar with this clay work. So eventually it got a little difficult for me, and I put that hobby aside and picked up watercolor. I found that doing things with my hand at least an hour or two a day helped me process a lot of the emotions that I was dealing with, and just helped me deal with things. I've dealt with a lot of difficult emotions through this, especially around not being heard. With my first set of oncologists, that was extremely difficult for me. But anyway, let's get on to some of the clay work. So the first things I started with making that I had some success with were pens. So I would make a cane, and the cane would either be a pattern or a flower or something like that. And then you take the polymer clay and you cover the pen with it, and you can roll it on the surface to make it pretty well even. But you may want to sand it a little bit when it's done baking. After you put the clay around this pen. So this is the inexpensive version that I made first. And then when I got good at them, I got some nice pens, like the twist pens, and I made some of those. But you can get a box of these for anywhere between like $6 and $10, and you get, I think, between 60 and 100 pens. So they're pretty inexpensive. And so let me show you what it looks like after you put the clay on it. You can put any kind of pattern on that you want. I'll show you some with like some flowers. So this pen shows you some flowers that I made. So you can see they can get distorted after you roll the pen to flatten it. It can be hard to keep the flowers from getting distorted, but they come out looking pretty good. There are people who are better at it than me who can keep the flowers from getting distorted. And also keep in mind, my pens with the least distortion, they're all gone. I would say I probably made 100 pens at least, and I have maybe 30 left. So let me show you some others. Now this one is just a design I made, and I thought that was so pretty. Just a swirl design, and this would be something more I would give to like a man. I actually took these pens in when we bought the Forester, and the salesman that I bought the car from liked them. He picked out a couple pens like that, a couple of the Galaxy ones. He picked out one that was like this. I made a few pens like this with the gold leaf Galaxy pens. And in here, like, I tried to make like a Galaxy. Now this was like the end of it, so it's not real refined. But let me show you. Here's another one of those. This is a pen I made with the scraps of a lot of canes. And you can see, let me find it right there. See the little green thing? That's from that pen's cane. And then you can see, like, I had roses that I made, other flowers. I took the ends of a whole bunch of canes and stuck them together and then minimized them, and I covered this pen with them. And I've actually been keeping this one. This is one of the ones I haven't let people take, just because it has so many of the different canes I've made in that one pen. I've made pens that have like hearts on them. I've made pens that have had roses on them. Most of my pens with roses are gone, except for the ones that are the most like crazy. This one's was from the end of a rose cane. Let's see. Oh, this one looks pretty good. This one's also a galaxy pen. My one daughter, who's into astronomy, she can help me design my galaxy pens. And some of them I just put one flower on. Let's see if I have something like that I can show you. Yeah, here's one. Here's one where I didn't reduce the flower too much that I made. I made this flower, and then that flower got reduced and put with other flowers on pens, like combinations like this one, where that flower is on there, but I also put some of the other flowers that I've made on this pen. And they're pretty big still here. They're not reduced that much. On this pen, you can tell there's a lot of the same flowers sort of put in here, there, and everywhere, but they're smaller and they've been reduced. Oh yeah, here's one. Here's one where they're smaller. The flowers are smaller and have been reduced more. So you can see I reused a lot of the same canes in different combinations on different pens. So that was one of the first products that I made because it was easy. And I would suggest if you're working with polymer clay, it might be one of the first things you try, because one of the hardest things to do is to get it smooth, and you can roll the pens to help make them smooth. You can get like good at rolling them. So some of the other stuff that I'm more proud of making are like dishes and light holders, like candle light holders. So let me show you some of them. So hopefully this light will work. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So with the polymer clay, it is not translucent at all. But you can buy translucent clay and mix it in with different colors and make the colors somewhat translucent. So here is a cup I got from the Costco tiramisu. You get like 6 tiramisus for $9.99. And we kept the glass cup, and I covered it with the polymer clay. And you can see I did like a 60s pattern with these little squares. And then if I put the light in, which is hopefully gonna work. Let me see if I turn. You can see how the light shines through, and it actually shows up in more, you see more of the purple, because the purple is the clay that I put more of the clear in. So they're gonna show up more in. I also have a lamp here, which may show it good. Yeah, see that? So I made a lot of these holders. And I just only have a few left with flowers. Let's see. This one has, so this is the same flowers as that was on the pen, but in a light. And this was, again, these are containers you get from Costco stuff. Some of the containers, this was a yogurt container. And this one is clear too. Some containers you can also cover are metal containers, but then you're not going to see light through them, so you might as well not use your clear polymer clay in the metal containers. But these you can use to carry stuff in, etc. This is a nice one I made, but like I said, most of my best ones are gone. Then, if say you have scrap clay left over at the end, which I did, I had some blue scrap clay left over at the end, and I mixed it up with a little bit of blue or of pink mica in with the blue clay and clear clay, and just swirled it around and just made this that looks like a, I don't know, like a pretty marble piece or something. And this you can light up. You can put a candle in these, or a little votive. So yeah, I got all different sizes. I only have 2 containers, metal containers left. I originally made maybe 15. And I got these with the lids from the dollar store. And yeah, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 glass containers left. And I originally made probably 20, 25. So yeah, I was surprised, but pleasantly surprised. A lot of them ended up being gifts, or people bought them from me to give as gifts. That's a lot of the pens. Let me show you the pens that I started making after I got better at making pens. Yeah, there's just so many different cool things you can do. In this one with the polymer clay, you can see I put some blue glitter in there. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with polymer clay, and I'm really hopeful that if I don't have to go back on the oral chemotherapy, I'll have enough energy to make things in polymer clay again, and get more of a stock up again, because my stock is getting pretty low. All right, I have just a few of the nice pens left that, well, nice, but you know, fancier. And these ones I worked very hard to, all of these will have minimum distortion in the flowers, as you can see, because these are not 10 cents a pen to make. These, I forget what they cost me each, maybe $5, $10, I don't know. But they're the twist pens, and they come with, like, the end has a thing on it to protect the nib, and you can see the flowers. Now, the other pens I had, all that I got that are gone, all looked like this as well with less distortion, but they're gone now. Here's another one. And again, only the least popular of these are left too. I have those 2. And then I also have this set I made, which I've actually been holding on to for myself. I sort of liked it, so I didn't let anyone buy this set either, because it's a pen and pencil set, and it's the only one I made that's a pen and pencil set. So I held on to that, but everything else is gone. I have only a couple of these. This is one more. This one has the purple and green. So I'm gonna have to make more, because someone just got one from me the other day to give to a friend. So as soon as I get my strength up, I'll be back to working with my polymer clay again. Now I have one more thing to show you that I decided to start making with some of the scrap clay. So you can imagine, especially when you're making something like this, and anytime you're working with canes, the middle of the cane is going to have the most accurate representation of the flower. But as you move on and get more towards the end of the cane, the flowers get more distorted, etc. So you want something, you don't want to throw out that distorted flower or whatever, because it could still look very pretty. So I found some other things to make with that, and one of the things I made were rings. So I'm going to show you some of the rings I've made. I also made worry stones and keychains. So let me show you some of the rings. And what I like about the rings is that they really, like, all the colors come together so beautifully, even though it's like not planned. So like you can see, here's a ring that's made from the cane that was used to make the flower pens with the clear background. Where's this, and also this. And this is a ring made from that scrap. And I would sell the rings for $10, but a lot of times I would end up selling them for $5, depending. So some of the rings, though, I sold on my Etsy shop for as much as $25 because of the shipping expense and wrapping and all that. But in person, these would be $10. So this ring here is scrap from this cane. And this is actually scrap. This one's towards the end of the cane too, but the nicer one, maybe I'll have my aunt take a picture of it and I'll put it on my community page. She has the nicer version. So, but all different kinds. Then sometimes I made some with swirls of color, all different colors. And so we have flower rings. Oh, this was an interesting cane I made that I have nothing left of what I made in it. But it was like a 70s retro flower cane. There's some rings left of that cane, but I don't have anything left that I made in it. It was really cool. Let's see. This is a black and pink flower cane. That's some scrap from that. And oh, I love like blues and greens and purples. And so I have a ton of rings in these gorgeous blues and greens and purples. Now, I probably have half of the rings that I started with, and not from selling them over the internet. No one buys them on my Etsy shop because probably $25 isn't worth it. I should lower the price, but I'm thinking about like shipping and insurance and all that stuff when I set the price, because I set free shipping and stuff because I didn't know how to do like figure out what the shipping would be. Anyway, so that's that. So I sell them other ways other than Etsy, and I'm going to probably end up taking the Etsy shop down. I heard a lot of people are having trouble with them anyway. I've made some nice little pinky rings that these are cute for like younger kids and stuff like that. Here's a bunch of I made a bunch in gold and red. And then I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, well, what if you want to wear, like, have a ring, but you don't know which one you want? So then I made some that are like two colored. So this one is red and blue, and maybe you can turn it depending on if you're feeling hot or cold for somebody, you know. And this was one I made that's similar, but as you can see, I changed the colors just a little bit, you know. So anyway, I think I've shown you guys a lot. Let me just show you real quick. Let me see. Oh my God, we're almost at 20 minutes. Show you real quick a couple of the worry stones. So this is what a worry stone looks like. And there you can see that. That's a pattern, a cane pattern there. That one came out pretty good without a lot of distortion. And then I take those and I put them on keychains so you can rub the worry polymer clay on the keychain like that. And I also made earrings, and this is another kind of ring I tried to make, and people really like them because they're adjustable. They're the twist ring. And some go around once and some go around twice, like this one goes around twice, and they are flexible. And so you can adjust them a size or two. So they're nice for people that don't know their size. I have a whole little container of them that I've made. Some of them with crazy stripes that remind me of like Whoville or something. And some of them I've done with more like pride ribbon or flags and things like that. Here's a nice pride one I made. Here's another one with the pride I made. So, and this actually, one of the ladies that was in the hospital with me was giving these out. And so this is a magnet, can go on my fridge. I need to actually put that up. But yeah, I had all this stuff in the hospital with me because I was giving it all out, and people were snatching stuff up. So that actually made me feel really good, that people really like the crafts that I do and make. So that helped me feel good, and I feel happy to get back into it. And if anyone wants to craft with me or is interested in working polymer clay with me, I would love to do it. Maybe we can do over Zoom or something like that. I'm going to get out my old clay pasta machine and see. I got to work those muscles up again, but I'll start slowly but surely and get back to this. And I appreciate everybody's support, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of my crafts. Love you all.